Okay, beautiful people, thank you so much for joining me once again. We have major update here. The armed forces of Mali, together with the African Corps in one of the region in Mali, closer to that is the border between Mali and Burkina Faso. Closer over there. I'm going to read some of the statement and then you understand exactly where, and I'll show you on the map also. They have been ambushed, yeah, by the bad guys in that particular area over there. And this ambush happened on 18th of July. Then on 19th, another ambush happened in Niger. And this happened previous day, it happened in Mali. And then the following day, it happened in Niger. Now I'm going to show you two videos here one from DW and DW Africa and one from Al Jazeera. Both of them published this video, but they didn't publish exactly what followed after. Now, I want to check the first video right here. If you are here, please kindly hit the like button for me. All right. I'm going to present you some of the things that the armed forces of Mali pull out and some of the things that the Niger government pull out. I'm giving you authentic update. I mean, what happened on the ground. Okay. This is not a cooked story, as some people will try to do propaganda. So let me give you the update, what exactly happened on the ground. So when you check this video you are watching on your screen, you see the first video here. This is a video published by Al Jazeera. And the caption here says at least 50 Malian soldiers were killed after a joint Malian army and Russia-Africa Corps convoy was ambushed near Anefis in northern Mali. When this was posted, the date of the video release was actually 19th July. We waited to see if they publish what followed this after. Now, the figures they mentioned here, which is the 50 Malian armed forces, some went down, actually, but the figure is not confirmed by the government of Mali. Now, the second video, this is it, from DW Africa. According to them, an attack near the Mali-Burkina Faso border has left 16 Nigerian soldiers killed and 23 wounded. This I confirm from the official website of the government of Niger, right? Beautiful. What followed after was not reported. So let me give you what exactly happened. On 18th, which was the first ambush, the armed forces of Mali and the Africa Corps were moving to a particular destination. They're moving from just one place to another. These guys ambushed them, and some actually went down during the banter before they capture the rest. But before they captured the rest, intelligence got to rescue team. And as they were escorting the rest, you can see in that video, they were escorting the rest. They put their hands and they are in the surrender mood. What happened was that the Malian air asset came down with biscuit, a lot of biscuit actually, and then they disengaged the convoy from the ambush. That was what happened. They will not report that. They disengaged the convoy from the ambush, and then the ground operation also came in immediately and disengaged them. Many of the bad guys, biscuit hit them a lot. They dropped the biscuit on them. Some of them fled away. The following day, 19th, they located the ones that fled away, and then more biscuit dropped on them. Ground troops were also giving them chocolate and things on the ground. But guess what? While these guys were receiving beating here, on 19th, some of their guys were operating. They launched the same kind of ambush, which they launched on 18th in Mali against Niger. And out of that, 23 of the Nigerians actually were wounded. 16 were killed. In return, in response, the response team came and pushed back. And in pushing back, 15 of those guys went down. The bad guys went down. Biscuit flew, actually. And some of their motorbikes and then logistics were collected, and some fled away and all that. That's what the whole thing happened. So after this whole thing happened, I was wondering, all these media houses, they carry out this, and then they are not carrying out the response of the armed forces. It has always been like that. So we are actually not surprised. The Malian armed forces released a statement. But first of all, before we read that statement, let me give you this shortly, what I got from the official website of the Niger government in Niamey, 19th July. So at least 16 soldiers were killed, 23 others were injured in a T attack targeting a detachment of the country's defense and security forces in Terra area in western Niger. The Nigerian press agency reported this on Sunday. According to their response, they said the swift response of the defense and security forces, supported by aerial assets, forced the enemy to retreat. Search and sweep and security operations are continuing in the area. The statement made it clear like that. So that figure is confirmed by the Nigerian, authority, right? Now, this is what the armed forces of Mali, these are they guided us through the whole process. They didn't leave the public out of the equation. When the thing happened, immediately they released the first statement. In the statement, it was very short. They said, look, our troops, together with the African Corps, their companion, have been ambushed. We are moving forward to make sure that we save the situation. The following thing that came on board was another statement. Now, the statement read, flash info. A general staff of the armed forces informed the nation that following the ambush late today, July 18, 2026, by the JNR/FLAT group, coalition against a convoy of the Malian armed forces in their partners in Tabrichat in the Borin district, Gao region, air asset conducted, you can read it there, I don't want to use some certain words, precision biscuits dropping against the enemy position. 3 T positions were successfully cleared in Tabrichat. Several of these T group were neutralized and 2 armed pickup trucks were destroyed. You are not seeing this in these media houses. They somehow decided to publish the ones that favor them, and then they refused to publish what went on after. The goal is to portray fear and downplay the capacity of the armed forces. Let's move forward. Near Esan, about 20 kilometers from Tabrichat, 2 biscuit dropping destroyed 2 more pickup trucks and neutralized about 20 of this T group. Now, this operation allowed the convoy to disengage from the ambushes and continue on its way. So, those videos you saw when they were in surrender mode, when immediately the rescue team came on board, they disengaged them, and they were able to continue their journey back to their destination. But some of the soldiers fell. May their soul rest in peace. The evolving situation continued to be monitored very closely. Few hours after this was posted, the armed forces, they used the air asset to drop more biscuit on some areas and then located this guy because they begin to chase them. One of the good things is that when they come in their numbers like that, it is easy, because when we are looking for you and then you bring yourself, what happened next? We clear you off. So flash info came again. The same day, on 18th, the General Staff of the Armed Forces informed the nation that in parallel with the air and ground response launch to disengage the convoy attack in Tabrichat by this T coalition, the Malian armed forces and their partners are continuing ongoing surveillance, control, and security operation throughout the national territory. On July 18, 2026, deployed units located a major logistic depot belonging to the T collaboration, the T group, in the Kajiba area east of Guma. I think it's Guma Raru, right? Yeah. So the depot contained thousands of fuel drums as well as dozens of motorcycle crates. So they always store fuel, because they're in the bush. They always store fuel down, and these are the fuel they use to, fuel their motorbike and then go about with their nonsense that they are doing. The site and all the logistical equipment it contained were completely destroyed. Several of these T group were neutralized while others escaped. Yeah, the General Armed Forces reaffirmed the Malian Armed Forces' determination to continue security operation throughout the national territory and thanks the population for their continued support and trust. This is how they always conclude their message. So this is what went on in Mali and Niger somewhere 18th and 19th. In Niger, rescue team came, hit back, and they retreat. Some of them fell. The army also, some of them fell. On the other side, in Mali, some of the soldiers also fell. The figure is not confirmed by the authority, all right? But those guys also fell. Now, when you look at Mali, how they chased back The number of the bad guys that actually the biscuit operate on the biscuit, they collected the biscuit very well from the top. They collected more biscuit from the ground. They collected, how do you call it, chocolate. I can tell you of a fact that times 2 of that number is what we should be counting, because a lot of them fail. I watch the, the air operation. Those things, when they put it there, they say, oh, you are putting violence and all that. So, yeah, I think we can no longer deny the fact that it is necessary for us to have a Telegram channel. I spoke about it last. I'm working on it. I'll do that so that we have a Telegram channel. Stuff like this, we put the real footages on ground. Then you see how they are sharing biscuits and people are collecting the biscuit. I mean, it's amazing. You see the people collecting the biscuit. It's not the US strike where when the US drop a biscuit, you don't know the biscuit to be touching buildings. No, this one, the biscuit, people are collecting it and you see them running, trying to get cover. So this is what happened. They are doing everything possible. They are doing all they can. In Burkina Faso, for example, they are on very high alert because once they did it in Mali, Niger, they will try it where? Burkina Faso also. Somehow, anyhow, it look like Burkina Faso, the security-wise, is so much so tight these days. So, I don't know. I think Mali and Niger, they need to somehow anyhow tighten a bit more, right? That's what I'm thinking. They need to tighten a bit more because it has been there, constantly down Burkina Faso these days, right? Because they are determined. They are determined. They have taken up the challenge. Like, look, let's do it. And I'm happy that they pick up the challenge like that, because when you say let's do it, yeah, then we can finish it quick. All right. But well, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and put us on notification. All right. See you in the next episode. Respect.